Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. What's up? Happy Monday. Welcome to Troubled Minds News, and I'm your host, Michael Strange, and, well, this is a show where the conspiracy is the news. That's right, it is the news, and that's what we do on this show. Talk about propaganda, talk about that repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing, and talk about why, if you're really into CNN or Fox News, why you're just not getting the truth. No offense to those guys. Sorry, I take that back. Mucho offense to those guys because they're doing a shitty job of doing the news, and so somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do it, so here we are. This show actually started with another show we do called Troubled Minds Radio. We do it 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we talk about all kinds of crazy stuff, out there stuff, right? Like really, really out there, and it's okay. That's okay. All that's okay, right? We get the haters and the people that say this and that and the other. I don't give a shit, to be perfectly honest. I don't give a shit what people say, and that's it. That's it, right? There you go. But I digress a little bit, but we get to the other point where we used to do a news segment on that Troubled Mind show and just became bigger and bigger and more bloated because there's just so much stuff to talk about in the news cycle. So here we go. Our own news show. Boom. Snap your fingers. Bam. Our own news show. Easy as that, right? And it shows you how ridiculous the actual news media is, because they spend all these billions of dollars to carefully formulate and go through with a fine-tooth comb how best they can what's the term? What is the term? I don't know. It's a Noam Chomsky term, I think. Anyway, it'll come to me. But the manufacturing consent, right? That's what they want to do. They want to manufacture consent to get away with their BS. And the best way to do it is to statistical analysis, algorithms, and then feed you whatever they think they'll get the most traction from. And yeah, it seems like it's a bunch of BS to me. And so here you go. This is thumbing your nose at the news cycle, because look, one dude with a computer and a microphone and a crazy hat can do it better. Like news media, you should be embarrassed. GTFO. As usual, this show's live. We do this live to include you if you want to be part of the show. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org and we'll put you on the show. Easy as that. It's called transparency, by the way. I always share my links where I get the information from, so you guys can go follow up and read the stuff I'm saying. So you know that I'm not just making up some bunch of BS like all the rest of these guys are, right? Where they're just leaving things out. Sure, we do have propaganda news sources, but to kind of talk about propaganda. And there you go. So if you want to go check it out, I will link all the things into the chat as we go. And that's what's going on. So 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Let us begin with the news, shall we? Speaking of propaganda and, well, the lulz. Let's go for some lulz today, because this is mildly amusing. This is from Politico. And, yep, it says this. Manchin to Dems. The Democrats, of course, redo the whole thing. Maybe I'll vote for it. The West Virginia senator wants a new bill that goes through Senate committees and focuses on rolling back the 2017 Trump tax cuts, right? So if you guys haven't been following the political shit show. Remember the whole Build Back Better, the greatest campaign in the history of campaigns. They're having a very, very difficult time building back better because of this individual by the name of Joe Manchin, and he's a centrist Democrat from West Virginia, and because they have such a slim margin in the Senate, it's a 50-50 tie. They need every single Democrat vote so that they can use Kamala Harris as the tiebreaker as the vice president, right? Because she presides over the House as vice president. That's how this works. Don't worry, I'm not going to stay on this too long. I know it's boring as hell, but I want to bring it up because I think it's a little bit funny that for all the billions of dollars and all of the money that goes into this stuff and all the garbage, propaganda, it comes down to this dude, and they need him, and he's like, no, I ain't gonna do that. The whole thing comes to a screeching halt. I'm sorry to laugh, but I think it's really funny. And it's not the first time, right? There are things in our system where one person, they're calling him President Joe Manchin because he gets basically whatever he wants, and he's basically just kicked this thing back and said, nah, not going to vote for it. And that's because they just keep jamming ridiculous spending packages into this Build Back Better bill, right? Build Back Better. Anyway, I thought it was notable for this reason. Let's read this real quick. One day after sinking President Joe Biden's signature social and climate spending legislation, Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, laid out a path forward that could take months and still fail. He wants the legislation to go through Senate committees and focus on rolling back the 2017 Trump tax cuts. He also wants Democrats to stop. This is the important part here, right here. He also wants Democrats to stop trying to force him into compliance. Quote, I knew what they could and could not do. They just never realized it because they figured surely to God we can move one person. Surely we can badger and beat one person up, Manchin said on West Virginia Metro News, his first response to the blowback he's taken from the White House and Democrats for tanking Biden's signature legislation. He added, well, guess what? I'm from West Virginia. I'm not from where they're from, where they can just beat the living crap out of people and think they'll be submissive. Go get it, Joe Manchin. Yep. Well, there you go. President Joe Manchin put his foot down and said, "No, you absolutely cannot force me into doing crap I don't want to do." He says, "Build a better bill, build back the Build Back Better bill, better bill, better, and then I will sign up for this." But like I said, sorry to laugh. I know there's a lot of people that really need this bill for lots of reasons. I don't mean it in that way. I just mean it in the way that, the old ways of political browbeating don't always work. So there you go. Go get it, Joe Manchin. I thought it was funny. So build back the Build Back Better bill, better, and then maybe Joe Manchin will sign it. There it is. All right. Did I link it? Yeah, okay. Not like anybody cares. But anyway, let's continue, shall we? Let's go to inverse. Let's go to inverse. The inverse. Scientists have a new theory explaining liquid water on Mars. Uh-oh. All right. The Martian Riviera, blah, blah, blah. Let's skip it. The discovery. A study they published earlier this year in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences reconstructs the red planet's early history using data from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to look back into the planet's history. Kite and his colleagues propose clouds once warmed the planet just enough to sustain patches of liquid water at the surface. Oh, what? This is clouds on Mars, you say? This is nice. This is going to be super hot. Look at that. Curiosity captured these images of clouds on modern-day Mars. Interesting. Interesting. Water and clouds on Mars. Yeah, the plot thickens, eh? Is there aliens out there? Weird. Anyway, let's see. Kite is an assistant professor at the Geophysical Science at the University of Chicago. He's been pondering what, in addition to carbon dioxide, might warm Mars enough to keep the water flowing. And why this matters? The idea Mars once had water isn't new. That's what we talk about quite often, don't we? There's plenty of evidence that water used to flow there. Perseverance rover, for instance, is in the Jezero crater, which scientists believe is actually a dried up ancient lake bed. But there's less obvious. What's less obvious is the conditions that allowed for liquid water. That matters because the answer could lead us to discover earlier conditions that were suitable for life to thrive on Mars, confirming another grand theory about the red planet's past. And yep, there you go. There you go. Clouds, water. What's going on? I see you guys out there in the chat. The famous Liam Martin is here, the mighty Rohan. We got what's going on, guys? We got Matt's owl over at work. Listen to us at work. Tell them we said hello. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all. Okay, check this out. This water on Mars. That's the way it goes. What's up? We got Drew. Holy crap! This is the first time I've been able to watch you live. Well, welcome to the Thunderdome, and welcome to the live shows. And thanks for finding us. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so what we're doing is just talking about the news today. This is the news show where we get together and consider all the things. Not all the things, just more like propaganda news cycles. And sometimes these stories are for the lulz. And the last one was. This one wasn't. But let's see what the next story brings. Maybe a grab bag of future lulz. We will find out. Let's go to this. This one's actually pretty hot. This could be an entire Troubled Mind show all by itself, I believe. But this is from Live Science, and this is pretty wild. It goes a little something like this. Headline is, wind from Earth's middle layer blows through a secret passage beneath Panama. Uh-oh, what? Researchers just discovered a geological hidden passageway. Am I reading this right? This says, wind from Earth's middle layer. Are we talking about Middle Earth? Anybody read Tolkien? Just asking. Anyway, all right, here we go. Let's read a little bit of this. A geological secret passage beneath Panama may explain why rocks from Earth's mantle are found more than 1,000 miles from where they originated. And, this opening, located some 62 miles below Earth's surface, may allow a flow of mantle materials to travel all the way from beneath the Galapagos Islands to beneath Panama. This never-before-discovered form of transport may also help explain why Panama has very few active volcanoes. On the west coast of Central America, the Cocos tectonic plate is diving down, and pushes oceanic crust under the continental crust to the North American, Caribbean, and Panama tectonic plates, a process called subduction. This subduction zone creates a line of volcanoes called the Central American Volcanic Arc, where lava pushes through the boundaries. But the volcanism stops in western Panama, which sits on the Panama Plate, said David Beckert, a postdoctoral scholar in marine chemistry and geology at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute in Massachusetts. Words are hard sometimes. Woods Hole, though, just not making that up. Just there you go. All right. This relative piece has long been a mystery. Now, Beckert and his colleagues report in a new study published November 23rd in the Journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences that the culprit may be a window-like opening in the Cocos tectonic plate that's being pushed down toward Earth's center. Weird. I don't know. I'm not so sure about Agartha here, but wind tunnels? What is this? What is this? Wind from Earth's middle layer. Middle Earth? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with this because, well, I don't know what to make of anything anymore. But we're going to just keep on talking about this and considering this and all the things because did we just discover Middle Earth? Wink, wink. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not the guy here to be the arbiter of that truth. But there you go. What's up, Joe? Now you guys got me downloading Twitch as well. I see you over there on the show chat on Discord. What's going on, guys? All good. All right. So what's with this? Do you guys think there's something to this? Do you think it's a bunch of BS, etc., so on, or whatever? I don't know. I think it's pretty fascinating that there is a lot of things we don't know about quite yet, even though we continue slamming the they whatchamacallits into the computer models that know all the things that we don't know all the things, right? So I don't know. What's up, Matt? 6.2 earthquake north of me earlier today. Pray for me. I'm on the 4th floor. Prayers for Matt. Yes, sir. The good news is 6.2 is probably not it's slipped. The fault slipped, and that's probably a good thing, right? It's gonna sit for crossing my fingers, prayers out that way to the folks in California that it doesn't. It was a slight slip, didn't cause a ton of damage from what I saw, and that's a good thing. I do watch closely. I have family in California, and I grew up there. I spent a lot of time dealing with earthquakes that way. So yeah. Anyway, so hopefully that slipped instead of a little one, kind of the precursor to something larger. Seems to slip is good. It releases some pressure so that the big one doesn't pop, right? So that's good. 6.2. We'll take that if we don't lose any lives all day long. Okay, so if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. You can jump in here and be part of the show. Just jump in the caller queue and unmute your mic, and we'll put you on the show. You can come say hi to me, and like I said, that's transparency. Try and interrupt a propagandist, a breathless propagandist like Don Lemon or Sean Hannity in the middle of their show. You're not going to be able to because they don't let you. I do because I'm not a propagandist. 2, because it's more important to hear what you have to say, and that's why we always take live calls. Because if you notice, I always say this, and this is completely true, that the actual when they take news clips of what, man on the street type interviews, they still just like trim it down to like the little tiniest, they interview somebody for 10 or 12 or 15 minutes, and then they trim it down to like a 10-word thing, and then put that on the news. And well, that's not really what they said. It's completely grotesquely out of context, and propaganda gonna propaganda. And so anyway, 702-957-1037, put you on the show. Simple as that. And before we do that, we got a call coming in. We'll take that from Joseph in just a sec. But before we do that, let's get a word from our sponsor, which is you.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Oops, sorry about that. Went to go throw the coffee in the fridge. All right, so welcome back. We're doing our thing, talking the news, and let's go to Joseph. Joseph in Iowa. What's up, my man? Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. Go right ahead, sir. What's on your mind, my man?
I saw that article on Google. It was underneath like Google News with the Panama, and I was thinking like that would be like a place where like maybe people would go spiritually, like Djinn or like genies, like maybe like a bunch of people like in the cave time lived down in these underground areas, and they developed a lot of what do you call it? Spiritual power in there, or there's artifacts in there, could be some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, well, I think that's the whole point of the whole Earth, right? Is there could be all kinds of amazing things we haven't figured out yet, and I dig it. I like where your mind's at. You're in troubled minds mode already, and I love it. What else? What else about the rest of the news so far? What else you got for us, my man?
Well, I mean, I really kind of, even if I don't believe in Djinn and like genies fully, I know the power of belief is strong towards those kind of things. And I couldn't, like, I have a bottle right now that has like faces. It looks like it has faces on it. Like it has a boogeyman actually that's displayed in a lot of movies. It has like this top head. It looks like it's wearing a pillowcase almost. But like I would talk about this bottle, and I wouldn't say like, I would be like, just like showing that like some people have superstitious belief, and like the bottle is way more powerful. Like I had someone like get vibes that I was a ghost through a mirror, or not a mirror, a window, after I showed them the bottle. Like they were scared, so they were starting to like actually see different things. So I don't know, like maybe the power of saying like a whole landmass. I mean, I know that was powerful in South America. Like those caverns were very sacred.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff too with, in particular with the caverns and the skinwalker. I'm not sure if you heard this. We did a show a while back with a Navajo native that lives on the reservation, and he was describing the skinwalker as being a creature that travels through these wind tunnels, and that they're able to jump into like these basically like caves that seem like they're pits, but they can travel with the wind, like the wind, through these tunnels and appear hundreds of miles away in minutes, because the wind tunnels are incredibly quick once you jump into these things. So pretty wild stuff, man, when you start considering all the stuff underneath the crust, underneath our feet. Pretty amazing stuff. Great call. I appreciate it, my man. You know, the news show, we got to keep on rolling. So what else you got? My man?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking maybe the further down you go, the weirder it gets spiritually. Like maybe it all breaks down the deeper you go. That's about it.
Right on. Appreciate it. Great stuff as always, Joseph. A pleasure hearing from you. We'll look forward to you calling in tonight if you can.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it. Have a great night. Great afternoon. There you go. That's Joseph in Iowa. He's got a YouTube channel called Hydro Hose. Check it out. It's going to be in the link in the description. Not here, but on YouTube when we get over there. This is on Twitch, a little bit different. But anyway, thanks for the call. Good stuff. All right, so there's more. There's always more news. I see we got some new folks popping into the Twitch stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's continue, shall we? This is from PCGamer.com. And, yep. You got this. Scientists taught a petri dish of brain cells to play Pong faster than an AI. Yep, well, move over, Alder Lake. This is a new kind of hybrid chip. Yeah, you got it. Let's see. So Cortical Labs is a company working on integrating biological neurons with your more traditional silicon-based computing hardware. They grow brain cells on microelectric arrays so these cells can be stimulated. These hybrid chips are said to be able to learn and restructure themselves to get past problems, like stopping a sneaky ball that wants in your goal. According to Cortical Labs, ALS typically take 90 minutes to learn Pong. Whereas this dish brain, yes, that's what it's called, managed to have it down to 5 minutes. Though the researchers do note that a good AI would still absolutely demolish the cells once both properly trained. The team managed this by using electrical signals to communicate where the ball is in-game to the dish brain. The neurons could then move the paddles to collide with the ball, which is pretty insane stuff. Though I'm fairly sure I worked out Pong faster and without a full team of scientists helping. Just saying. This was written by a dude named Hope Corrigan, or maybe not a dude. It's okay, because, without context, what am I supposed to do? Anyway, let's see. Chief Scientific Officer of Cortical Labs, Brett Kagan, told New Scientist, quote, "We think it's fair to call them cyborg brains," and went on to explain that when the brains are moving the paddles in Pong, they're convinced that they are the paddles themselves. We often refer to them as living in the Matrix, he explains. When they are in the game, they believe they are the paddle. We'll just file this under how could this go wrong? And there you go. AI cells, brain cells, learning to play Pong quickly. Yes, the world we live in. May you live in interesting times. All right, what else is there? Let's see. Where are we at time-wise? I think everything looks good. Everything looks good. Let's keep on trucking. Let's go to here. This is for all the naysayers out there, including the people that believe that these elite pedophile rings are they're a figment of people's imagination, which is mind-boggling to me that anybody would have that take. But okay, to each their own. This is from the Telegraph, and this is the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, right? The Jeffrey Epstein bit. There, Matt's got it right. There is no paddle. Exactly. The headline here is: evidence from Jeffrey Epstein's safe went missing after FBI raid, court hears in Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Yep, you got that right. An FBI special agent testified to a New York court in Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking trial on Monday that evidence went missing from Jeffrey Epstein's New York townhouse while authorities were waiting on a warrant. Listen closely, guys. Special Agent Kelly McGuire recalled how CDs and other items were recovered by the FBI from a locked safe during an initial search of the Manhattan home on July 6th and July 7th in 2019 after Epstein's arrest on sex assault charges. The FBI agent said officers broke open the safe with a saw, finding the CDs, jewelry, computer hard drives, loose diamonds, passports, and large amounts of U.S. currency. They took photographs of the items but left them at the residence, as they did not have the warrant to remove them. When they returned 4 days later on July 11th, they were no longer there. No longer there. No longer there. Agent McGuire, a member of the FBI Child Exploitation and Human Trafficking Task Force, said she then called Richard Kahn, Epstein's lawyer, who now serves as the executor of the later financier's estate. Again, they're still calling this guy a financier, right? A late financier, not a convicted pedophile, right? They're not calling him that. You notice again, words matter, and he actually is a convicted pedophile, the sex trafficker, convicted. Yes. Anyway. Quote, 20 to 30 minutes after the conversation, Richard Kahn came to the residence, who's the lawyer and now the executor of his estate, and brought the items back in 2 suitcases, Agent McGuire said. So you catch this, right? So they went to, they were doing the investigation. They went into his Manhattan condo, townhouse, whatever the hell this thing is. And then they, now this is beyond me. They broke into the safe, all right, with the authority of the FBI, but they somehow did not have a search warrant in place to take the items they found in the safe. So they cataloged what was there, including CDs and hard drives, all right, but they didn't have the authority to take them with them as evidence, all right? Now explain to me how that's even possible. How is that even possible, right? If you're there breaking into a safe as the with the power of the FBI, how come you do not already have a warrant? Is there something amiss here? All right, so here's the bizarre part. Right? Then 4 days later, they come back with the appropriate warrant after they know what evidence is there, and then it's gone. It's not there. So the craziest part is this. Then they call the dude, and they're like, hey, what happened to all this shit we had? It was evidence, man. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry about that. Here, I'll bring it over. And he brings it over in 2 suitcases, right? Item by item, exactly like they photographed. So they did the inventory, and, well, now they have their evidence back. Surely in 4 days, they didn't swap the CDs out with, I don't know, Rickroll footage, right? Surely they didn't get brand new hard drives that had nothing on them, right? And swap them with the dirty evidence that was there. Surely none of that happened, right? But again, we're talking about bungling law enforcement here. And how on God's green earth do you have the authority to crack a safe open, but not to take the evidence with you when you crack the safe open? What in the fucking world is going on here? And this is what I'm saying. There's no conspiracy, guys. Trust me on that. Because if there is, well, the world is an upside down ass place. But What is this? Are you shitting me? Read it yourself. Read it yourself. So this dude brings back the evidence 4 days later, right? 4 frickin' days later. Surely it's all the same stuff, right? Sure. They never actually took any of this and checked it out then forensically. They just took pictures and cataloged it and said, yep, 14 hard drives, 88 CDs, approximately, $58,000 in cash, diamonds, passports, the whole deal, right? They cataloged it all, like bam, 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 line by line, right? An inventory. But nobody checked what was on those discs then, or those hard drives then. What the just think about it. Think about it. They have hard drives and discs in a safe. What do you think that stuff was? Just what do you think that stuff was? Anyway, yeah, well, this is the real world we live in. Can you freaking believe it? Anyway, still taking your calls and hanging out, doing our thing, talking the news. 702-957-1037, troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link. And while we're at it, let's take a quick break. You're listening to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I'll be right back. What do they say? After these messages, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and let us continue with the news, shall we? Let's go to the New York Post. This one's pretty good. Let's go to this. Professional cave woman survives on freezer full of roadkill. Yeah, you got that right. This UK woman is living like it's the Paleolithic era. Yeah, bringing back the Paleolithic. Sarah Day, age 34, has deemed herself a professional cave woman who survives on roadkill, including repurposing the skin and bones of the dead animals. The Colchester, Essex resident says she makes her money as a school teacher who educates children on history and survival skills. And if I'm being real, I think we need more teachers like this. Day claimed she eats, quote, roadkill at least once a week, although there isn't always an animal on the side of the road, she told Mercury Press. My freezer is full of roadkill finds, which is handy during the winter because I can defrost a deer or rabbit to make a hearty stew, she continued, adding that the flavor of rats is very similar to squirrel. It is mild and sweet. It tastes a little like chicken, but much nicer. There you go. All right, all painted up. Paleolithic teacher. Well, let's teach more survival skills. Why not? It couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. All right, let's keep on trucking. Speaking of, politics and all the rest of this crap, we started out with some political stuff. I hate to laugh, but I'm going to laugh. Here we go again. Did you guys see this spat with Elon Musk and Senator Elizabeth Warren on Twitter? It's so gold. This guy is hilarious. He's got his trolling is on point. He was calling Elizabeth Warren. He was calling her Senator Karen on Twitter. Senator Karen. Oh, jeez. But anyway, she tweeted something. I'm going to just paraphrase. I'll find the links and add them to the link tree here so you guys can fact check me on this. But it was on Twitter. It was a funny spat. I didn't really want to get into that part, except it's just too funny, so I had to. But the way this all started was Elizabeth Warren tweeted, "We're gonna make these billionaires pay their fair share," or some shit like this. Like she's always tweeting the class division stuff, right? Taxes and all the rest of it, right? Again, a lawmaker complaining about the tax code. That's just so cheeky, right? Congratulations, Senator Karen. But anyway, I digress. So Elon Musk fired back and said something to the effect of how much he's paying in taxes and all the rest of this, right? And so here it is. BBC News reports Elon Musk says he'll be paying $11 billion in tax this year. Yeah, 11 billion. Can you even fathom that? That is ridiculous. Anyway, Mr. Musk has been embroiled in a public debate on social media over how much tax he pays. Earlier this week, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted that Mr. Musk should stop freeloading off everyone else, is what she said. She said that. Oh boy! Quote. Let's see. He tweeted this: "For those wondering, I will pay over $11 billion in taxes this year." Mr. Musk, founder of electric car maker Tesla and aerospace manufacturer SpaceX, became the world's richest person earlier this year. Bloomberg Billionaire Index puts his wealth at $243 billion, while Tesla is worth around $1 trillion and SpaceX is worth $100 billion. Last week, Mr. Musk was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year, and this is what started the entire spat. Excuse me one sec. Elizabeth Warren tweeted this: "Let's change the rigged tax code so the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else." And she cited the Boston Globe and a picture of Elon Musk. And apparently he tweets when he's on the crapper, which is super hilarious. So he kind of live tweets his bathroom time. But apparently he caught Elizabeth Warren throwing shade his way, and he fired back. And yeah, there you go. There's news for you. Elon going off on Senator Karen. Jeez. Sometimes you can't even make this shit up. It's so good. All right, let's continue, shall we? Science alert. Let's go to Science alert. Pretty good stuff. Colossal fossil structures have been detected lurking on the outskirts of our galaxy. From Earth's vantage point and one of the Milky Way's spiral arms, the structure of our galaxy is pretty difficult to reconstruct. That's because gauging the distance to something in space when you don't know its intrinsic brightness is really, really hard. And there are a lot of objects in the Milky Way whose brightness is unknown to us. This means that sometimes we can totally miss huge structures that you'd think should be right under our noses. A new set of such enormous structures has now been unveiled at the outer regions of the Milky Way disk. Massive spinning filaments with unclear provenance. Astronomers will be conducting follow-up surveys to try and solve the mystery. The discovery came about thanks to the European Space Agency's Gaia Space Observatory, a project to map the Milky Way in 3 dimensions with the highest precision yet. Gaia orbits the Sun with Earth in a looping orbit around the Sun-Earth L2 Lagrangian point, the Lagrange points. Do you guys know what that is? I'll tell you what they are if you don't. A gravitationally stable pocket of space created by the interactions between the two bodies. That would be the Sun and the Earth. Now, on a Lagrange point, they say that you could plop a satellite there, and because it's between the perfect intersection of the two gravity signatures, it kind of acts as like a table, and you could just set something in that Lagrange point and just leave it there. And it because the two gravity signatures are basically holding it up, it doesn't need to actually orbit anything. It just kind of sits, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, Gaia, let's see, blah, blah, blah. From there, it carefully studies stars in the Milky Way over an extended period, watching to see how the positions of stars seem to change against more distant stars. This provides a parallax, which can be used to calculate the distances of stars. Anyway, the new structures were identified by a team led by astronomer Chervin Laporte of the University of Barcelona in Spain, and data from the latest release made in December of last year with improved parallax precisions. The same data also showed previously known structures with much higher clarity than we've seen before. Here's the quote. "We report the discovery of multiple previously undetected new filaments embedded in the outer disk in highly extincted regions," the researchers wrote in their paper. And pretty wild, right? Pretty wild. Yep, there we go. What's up? Reading all the chats. How's everybody doing? They ain't fossils. They ain't. Yeah, right. There's your Lovecraftian old ones sneaking around on the outside of the galaxy itself. Yeah, wild. What's going on, guys? I see you in the chat. How's everybody? Hope everybody's doing well today. Happy Monday. Let's keep on trucking. There's always more news, so let's do some more news. Let's go to CNBC. And CNBC reports this. The U.S. government has a massive secret stockpile of Bitcoin. Here's what happens to it. Curious and curious. Yep. For years, the U.S. government has maintained a side hustle auctioning off Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Historically, Uncle Sam has done a pretty lousy job of timing the market. Does that surprise anybody? The 500 Bitcoin it sold to Riot Blockchain in 2018 for around $5 million. That's now worth north of $23 million. That's okay. They'll just get it back in taxes. They're not tripping, right? It's all fine. Or the 30,000 Bitcoin that went to billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper for $19 million in 2014. 2014, that would be worth more than $1.3 billion today. Yep, that's right. The government has obtained all that Bitcoin by seizing it, alongside the usual assets one would expect from high-profile criminal sting operations. It all gets sold off in a similar fashion. It could be 10 boats, 12 cars, and then one of the lots is X number of Bitcoin being auctioned, said Jared Koopman, director of the Internal Revenue Service's Cybercrime Unit. Yeah, well, they need to revisit their debits and credits a little more, I would say. Anyway, one of the next seizures up on the auction block is $56 million worth of cryptocurrencies that authorities confiscated as part of a Ponzi scheme case involving offshore crypto lending program BitConnect. Unlike other auctions where the proceeds are redistributed to different government agencies, the cash from this crypto sale will be used to reimburse victims of the fraud. The government's crypto seizure and sale operation is growing so fast that it just enlisted the help of the private sector to manage the storage and sales of its hoard of tokens. There you go. Well, now you know. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle, right? All right, let's continue, shall we? Let's go to livescience.com, another great website, one of my favorites. Excuse me one sec. This coffee in the morning just gets to me. Okay, that's better. That's better. All right, let's go to, this is pretty hot. When humans are gone, what animals might evolve to have our smarts and skills? I'm going to go out on a limb and say the octopus. Anyway, humans are blah, blah. Okay, what if humans suddenly went extinct? What other animals might evolve to have the smarts and skills to create large, complex societies like we have? James has it right, cats. With modern gene sequencing technology and an understanding of evolution, quote, we're pretty good at making short-term predictions, Martha Reiskind, a molecular ecologist at North Carolina State University, told Live Science. For example, we can predict that if humans were to suddenly go extinct tomorrow, climate change would continue to drive many species toward drought resiliency in order to survive. Cold specialized species will continue to struggle as well, meaning that sadly, polar bears and penguins are unlikely to thrive in the millennia after humans are gone. What's up, Robert? Says cockroaches. Yeah, there you go. So the era of the super intelligent cockroach has arrived. Anyway, quote, a big thing will be the concept of convergence. Dougal Dixon, a geologist, science writer, and author of the speculative book After Man, A Zoology of the Future, told Live Science. Convergence is an evolutionary process by which two unrelated organisms end up developing similar traits in order to succeed in a particular environment or fill a particular niche. That would be niche for you Frenchies. The classic example, Dixon said, is the fish shape. With their sleek torpedo-like bodies and stabilizing fins, fish are optimized for life in water. However, dolphins have evolved a very similar body plan, and unlike fish, they are warm-blooded, air-breathing mammals with a totally different evolutionary background. Anyway, as a side note on this, I did see recently, and I thought this was fake. I thought this was a fake video, but I saw an actual video. I'll try and pull it up and show you guys a little bit later. I'll drop it in the Discord, which is a perfect time to plug the Discord. If you haven't joined it yet, troubledminds.org. Join the Discord. Come hang out. Lots of people sharing links and ideas and just being chill. The only few rules with it, don't come in there and tell everybody they're wrong. That's annoying as hell. Like if somebody says something you don't agree with, there's no reason to get into a fight. Let it go. Just let it go, right? It's about a community. It's not about being right. And second, you get pretty kind of exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on in Troubled Minds. And not just me, of course, it's a community. And so there's lots of folks that help with shows. There's lots of ideas kind of kicked around in the voice chat and all the rest of that. So I will share this video later, which I'm teasing the hell out of this video. troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. But I did see a video, and I thought it was fake. And it was about an elephant with in its trunk a paintbrush painting a picture of an elephant. And like, I'm shitting you not, better than I could paint the picture of an elephant. The elephant was painting the picture of an elephant. You guys ever seen this? And I thought it was fake. I was like, there's no fucking way. How did they actually fake that? Because it looked legit. Well, it turns out I did a little digging, and it seems like it's legit. Like they teach elephants to paint. And one of them in particular is very adept at painting elephants. They call it painting his own self-portrait. So anyway, I thought it was a nice side note to this. When humans are gone, what animals might evolve to have our smarts and skills? I'm going to say elephants, because holy shit. Anyway, so what we're going to do is take a quick break, and a quick reminder, if you are subbed up to Twitch and with Amazon Prime, which again, it doesn't cost you anything extra, it's included in your Amazon Prime thing if you've already got it, or if you're subbed up on Twitch at all, you got to resub it every month because it just falls off. It doesn't automatically redo. So there you go. One more quick word from our sponsor and we'll wrap this show up. And so don't forget, if you are subbed up on Twitch, you do have to resub each month. Here we go.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Okay, let's get back to the news. Let's go to Newsweek, and this is the type of stuff that turns CNN heads into, militants. This is the type of stuff that really it doesn't help, right? And this is from Newsweek, and not just CNN heads. It also radicalizes, the right. It's the media doing their best to radicalize people so they can justify the necessary means. You know what I mean? So here we go. Millions of angry, armed Americans stand ready to seize power if Trump loses in 2024. Yep, there we go. It says it right there. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Millions of fellow would-be insurrectionists will be there, too. I skipped the first paragraph. Naya's Nanny says, a ticking time bomb targeting the Capitol. Quote, there are lots of fully armed people wondering what's happening to this country, he says. Are we going to let Biden keep destroying it, or do we need to get rid of him? We're only going to take so much before we fight back. The 2024 election, he adds, may well be the trigger. And he's no loner. His political comments on the social media site Quora received 44,000 views in the first 2 weeks of November and are more than 4 million overall. He is one of many rank-and-file Republicans who own guns and in recent months have talked openly of the need to take down by force if necessary a federal government they see as illegitimate, overreaching, and corrosive to American freedom. That's so weird. I mean, why don't we just, I don't know, like the incendiary headlines always drive me a little bit nuts, but there you go. Millions of angry armed Americans stand ready to seize power. Seize power, right? Listen to the words they use. Just saying, I think that a lot of this unfortunate, kind of picking this scab of just whatever nastiness has been going on for the last, 6 or 8 years politically, it's in the lap. The blame is in the lap of the press, and headlines like this and things like this, they don't help, right? You're literally, so think about it this way. Let's say you're neither left or right, or let's say in my instance, you used to be a lefty, but you got sick of lefties in your own party calling you a racist, and they didn't even know you. So you're like, nope, thanks, I ain't doing that anymore. And then you signed up as an independent, which I just recently did. Then, you're sitting in the middle of this, looking at both sides flinging poo at each other. And think about it this way: if you are a staunch lefty and you read something like this, what does it do? It's division. It makes you hate the guy on the right. Okay. Now, if you are on the right and you see this, it's going to piss you off because you're like, no, dude, I may be on the right, but I'm not going to get the guns and seize power, right? Like, you see, so it almost doesn't even matter. When you're writing shit like this, it pisses everybody off. And that's the point. It's not okay with me, and that's why somebody's got to call a spade, and this is a spade. This is unnecessary. It's incendiary, and the reason why we do this show in particular is to exactly point things like this out and say, no, this is bullshit, and they know it's bullshit. And yeah, come on, get out of here, Newsweek. I'm disappointed. Try better. All right. Try harder. All right, we're going to keep on trucking. There we go. There you go. Robert says, I want independent too for the same reason. Yeah, I just changed it. And funny enough, they sent me 2 registrations now. So now I'm a registered Democrat and an independent. They didn't cancel one. They just added a second one to the voter roll. Can you believe that? Yeah. And they fight tooth and nail to not clean up the voter rolls. I'm just saying. Weird, right? Weird how it's all just so sloppy willy-nilly and nobody gives a shit. Anyway, let's keep on trucking. Let's get off the politics because it's going to make you want to punch yourself in the face. Let's go to interesting engineering. And, yep. MIT researchers just discovered an AI mimicking the brain on its own. Oh, shit. Really? A new study claims machine learning is starting to look a lot like human cognition. Yes. In 2019, the MIT Press Reader published a pair of interviews with Noam Chomsky and Steven Pinker, 2 of the world's foremost linguists and cognitive scientists. The conversations, like the men themselves, vary in their framing and treatment of key issues surrounding their areas of expertise. When asked about machine learning and its contributions to cognitive science, however, their opinions gather under the banner of skepticism and something approaching disappointment. Quote, in just about every relevant respect, it is hard to see how machine learning makes any kind of contribution to science, Chomsky laments. Specifically, he continues, to cognitive science, whatever value it may have for constructing useful devices or for exploring the properties of the computational processes being employed. While Pinker adopts a slightly softer tone, he echoes Chomsky's lack of enthusiasm for how AI has advanced our understanding of the brain. Quote, cognitive science itself became overshadowed by neuroscience in the 1990s and artificial intelligence in this decade. But I think those fields will need to overcome their theoretical barrenness and be reintegrated with the study of cognition. Mindless neurophysiology and machine learning have each hit walls when it comes to illuminating intelligence. There you go. All right. Anyway, this goes deeper than we have time-wise, but that's what we do on this show. Quick hits, news stories. What's up? Joe the Camel says, I miss Orange Man. He was funny at least. And, well, yeah, not really much different than a Democrat, if we're being perfectly honest. I mean, he basically allowed Nancy Pelosi to have her way with everything. So, yeah, okay. All right. Totally cool, right? Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Michael Strange. So good they voted him twice. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to vote twice, by the way. It's just stupid that they, didn't cancel one but canceled the other. Or didn't. They just sent you another one. We'll just send you another one. That's fine. Anyway, this is from CNN.com. Let's go to this. Bill Nye, my favorite not scientist, playing a scientist on TV. From CNN, of course, the most trusted source in news. See Bill Nye's warning about Doomsday Glacier. Let's listen, shall we? Come on, Bill Nye, you can do it. Come on, CNN.
We are seeing the results of human-caused global warming in our own backyards. But some of the most alarming changes are in Antarctica. A critical ice shelf safeguarding the, quote, Doomsday Glacier is at risk of falling. It's the size of Florida. So what happens to sea levels if the Doomsday Glacier falls into the ocean?
Well, it's estimated the ocean will rise about a half a meter, 20 inches, 19 inches, which you say, well, I've been around 19 inches of snow or something like that, but this would be catastrophic. A place like Florida would be, southern Florida, would be underwater. And the problem with that is people will leave. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do when they leave? It won't happen instantly, but it'll happen fast enough. And this gets back to the old problem that we've been talking about for 30 years, where scientific concerns have not been heeded by governments, by people around the world, because generally the fossil fuel industry has been very successful at introducing this idea that scientific uncertainty, when will the glacier fall? Tomorrow? 10 years from now? Well, that's too uncertain. No, the scientific uncertainty is somehow the same as doubt about the whole thing. And this is leading to catastrophes big enough where I think people are noticing them.
Right. So, I mean, on that note, if it can take decades, as we know, to see, for example, the fallout from rising sea levels.
Okay, I'm tired of their shit already. Basically, I wanted to see what Bill Nye had to say about the Doomsday Glacier. Again, an actual actor that plays a scientist and is known as Bill Nye the Science Guy doesn't have a science degree and is basically as much of a scientist as I am. Ha! Check that out. I guess I'm Mike Strange the Science Guy now, right? No, because you can go ahead and call me a douche, but I'm not that level of douchebag. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Alien Nietzsche says the Arctic is losing ice, but the Antarctica is gaining ice, and that's true. And I have read that it's still a net loss, but we are again coming out of an ice age. And so again, I'm not a denier. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I think that some of the models that have been saying, just like he said, Florida is going to be underwater, southern Florida is going to be underwater, and what are the people going to do? They have to move. Well, they could get flippers and canoes, you idiot. Anyway, there you go. There's stupid solutions for stupid claims. Let's go to TheVerge.com. How astronomers decided where to point the most powerful space telescope NASA ever built. We'll get into this another time. We're short on time here and need to wrap it up. So I'm going to skip this one. But just notably, the actual James Webb Space Telescope is going up. They've rescheduled it for a Christmas Eve launch. How cool is that? We can all be sipping our eggnog and slipping a little more whiskey into it, and curled up, chestnuts toasting on an open fire, and waiting for Santa Claus to arrive. And at the same time, they're launching the James Webb Telescope into the sky. So we'll see what happens with that, and et cetera, so on. So we'll keep an eye on it. As you know, that will be Friday, this coming Friday, which will be Christmas Eve. And well, we'll see. Let's cross our fingers they don't break something, because that would suck. Let's see. Here's another one. Let me roll through this real fast. I just wanted to point this out. Is that this is from Inc.com, and I keep hearing this term and I keep cringing every time I hear the term, because it's basically like newspeak. It's cognitive dissonance in one statement, right? But here we go. People who can't stop using this annoying phrase have very low emotional intelligence. All right, and it continues. Is there a more annoying phrase on the planet? Yet some people use it constantly. And so, well, what is that phrase, you ask? No, the phrase isn't emotional intelligence, which, by the way, think of it this way. If you reverse those two things and you say intelligent emotions, it's literally oxymoronic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the best part about just making up your own words and terms. It's you just hip fire whenever the hell you damn well please. But anyway, here's the 4 short words. The 4 short words on the screen made my eyes hurt. Look, I get it. Is there a more annoying phrase on the planet? Yep, I'm going to say emotional intelligence. I'm going to say yes. Ancient astronaut theorists say yes. Well, Mike Strange says yes in this case. And I'm not saying, being smart is clearly being smart and taking other people's ideas and emotions into account is a good thing. But using a term like emotional intelligence is literally like newspeak. It's like saying, well, the I can't even do it without laughing. The fire water complex, right? It's like, wait, what? How's the fire and the water? Never mind. Anyway, that's probably a poor example, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So yes, there is. Is there a more annoying phrase on the planet? Yes, sir. Emotional intelligence. Let's see. What's up, Joe? Says the emotional intelligence is real. It means you know shit but are triggered easily. Well, no. But I'm saying, can't they have a different term? Again, it's like saying intelligent emotions, right? It's the same thing. You flip it, and it's 2 words that mean the opposite things. Right? Anyway, whatever. The phrase annoys me, and so I wanted to point out that this is an example of propaganda newspeak. All right, and so no matter how smart you are, they can still demean you as being a emotionally non-intelligent. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, but in the old days, in the corporate world, they called them soft skills. Different terms, and it was not an oxymoronic phrase. Anyway, I'm done on that. I'm over it. Let's go to Live Science. Bits of asteroid Ryugu are among most primordial materials ever examined. Whoa, what? Oh yeah, just making sure. I thought we weren't streaming, and I was like, wait, is that even possible? Anyway, the asteroid may hold secrets to how the solar system came to be. Look at that. It looks like a little bucket of ash, right? A little bucket of whatever came out of my barbecue when it's all done. There we go. All right. So tiny particles of rock gathered from the asteroid Ryugu are, let's see, what do we got? Okay. From the, let's see, could give us a glimpse. Okay, wait. The tiny particles of rock gathered from the asteroid Ryugu are some of the most primordial bits of material ever examined on Earth, and could give us a glimpse into the origins of the solar system. Asteroid 162173 Ryugu measures about 2,900 feet, 900 meters in diameter, and orbits the sun, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, primordial stuff, good stuff. One more thing real quick, and we'll take this phone call and we'll get out of here. This is from thehill.com, and yep, millions signed petition calling for truckers' 110-year sentence to be reduced. And if you guys have been following this, it's causing a little bit of a to-do. Anyway, let's just read this. Over 4 million people have signed a petition asking for a truck driver's 110-year prison sentence to be shortened following his conviction over a fatal accident. Rohel Aguilera Mederos was driving a truck that crashed into several cars and killed 4 people in Colorado in 2019. The petition posted on change.org calls on Colorado Governor Jared Polis, a Democrat, to grant the driver clemency or commutation as time served, noting that the 23-year-old had nothing on his driving record and no criminal history. Now, the crazy part about this, which is why it's making news, is that the story goes like this. He was in a big rig. He's going down a hill, and the brakes on his big rig actually failed. So it was a mechanical thing. It wasn't a negligence thing. And they say that he could have done, he could have went on the truck ramp and the rest of this. But to the point, I've got some experience with this. To the point of fail, you don't know, because when you're going down a hill in a big rig and you're supposed to tap the brakes, right? You're supposed to, right? Like you put in a lower gear, you tap the brakes to keep the brakes from overheating, because the brakes will overheat. And when they do, you have no brakes. It's free fall. So you're supposed to put in a low gear, go down the hill, tap the brakes slowly so you don't overheat them. What happens is when you do, they turn into like glass, like it just melts the top off and it's slick. All right. So that's not what happened though. Like these brakes failed. The brakes failed. So it was a maintenance thing. It was a mechanical thing. And if anybody should be held liable in this, which is what people are saying, it should be the trucking company that was responsible for the maintenance of this vehicle. But here's the craziest part. So tragically, 4 people died. He came speeding down the hill, couldn't stop, smashed into him, 4 people dead. But they gave this dude a 110-year sentence. And those are about the basic facts. There's probably more nuance to it, of course, because you can dig in as deep as you want to dig. Point being, this guy gets a 110-year sentence for that, which was clearly mostly an accident. And then we get people like Epstein that gets, a smack on the hand and, back to his Florida mansion. And this is the whole point. The whole point is that, there are more heinous, horrific crimes that get a smack on the hand. And they're literally trying to lock this dude up forever for what really, again, no criminal record, no previous infractions on his CDL at all, which is a commercial driver's license. It's messed up. This is messed up. So anyway, just there you go. There's your justice system at work, right? Broken, and broken. Let's go to our good friend. This is Chantel. Chantel in Ohio. Welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Is the sound okay? Because I'm on my phone. I've been baking Christmas cookies while I'm listening.
Nope. Loud and clear. Go right ahead. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Same to you. And I agree with you wholeheartedly on the last thing. And I'm not going to keep you. The only thing I wanted, I sent you a Christmas card. I had written down a post office box that you had put somewhere, and I put it in my address book. It came back. It was returned. Maybe because I didn't know who to send it to, so I sent it to Mr. and Mrs. Michael Strange. I know that's not right, but anyways. I messaged you on Messenger. I'd like to send you the card with the check for a little bit of extra Christmas cheer, and I don't know how to do that. And I don't want you to stay on the air, but I don't know how to get a hold of you.
Thank you. That's very kind. And as you know, completely unnecessary. But thank you very much. I will give you that information. As a matter of fact, I actually, speaking of, just give me 1 sec here. Let me show you something. Hang tight real quick. Okay, going to point this out. It does work because I did actually receive this fantastic book from Robert in the mail, which I just picked up at the P.O. box. So it does work. It is working. And I think maybe what happened was maybe you wrote it down when it first happened and the box changed or something. So my apologies there. That's 100% my fault. It was before anybody ever sent me anything. So I was like, okay, well, swap it to the next thing. And I updated the address. And yeah, so my fault. I will get you the information. I'll send it to you directly. Do you want it on Facebook or do you want it on Discord? You tell me, and I'll send it right to you.
I don't care. You can do it on Discord or Messenger if you're still on Messenger, or however you want to do it.
Okay, perfect. I will send that over. And so, yeah, it is working. Thank you. That's a very kind thought. I appreciate that very much. And yes. Thank you.
I appreciate your work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to the world.
And you as well. And good health going into the next year. Talk to you later.
Oh, let's hope.
Let's hope. There you go. Crossing the fingers.
Yeah. Let's all do that. Okay. Well, thank you, and have a good evening.
Thanks, Chantel. You're the best. Always a pleasure. That's Chantel in Ohio. Been listening to us for a very long time, and I'll get that. So there's a P.O. box that if you want to send me things, you can do that. Again, it's completely 100% not necessary, so don't ever feel obligated to. Thank you for appreciating the work I do, and thank you again to not just Robert, who sent me something nice, David out there sent me something nice, Jay in New York sent me something nice, and Chantel trying to get it to come as well. So appreciate that very much, guys. Thank you. There you go. Robert says, I want to send Michael a fruitcake that has been passed around my family for generations. That would be hot because I'll just keep passing it along, sir. Isn't that the Christmas tradition? Just keep regifting that fruitcake. Okay, all right. So what we're going to do is wrap this up. The deal is this, right? Monday and Friday, we do Troubled Minds News at 3 p.m. Pacific, and Monday through Thursday, which means tonight, 3 hours from now, approximately, a little less than 3 hours, 2 hours and 50 minutes to be precise, we got Troubled Minds Radio coming up. So we will be on the radio tonight and Monday through Thursday, and we're not altering the schedule for the holidays. We're just going to do it. We're going to go regular schedule, so that would be the 23rd, the 20th to the 23rd, and it will give us the weekend off, which is Christmas. So nice, perfect. It's almost like the calendar decided that we're just going to do Troubled Minds and take no holiday time off. So we're just going to keep on doing it. We're going to keep on trucking, doing our thing. And thank you again for all the kind thoughts, all the kind words. Thank you for sending me these amazing things in the mail. Appreciate that very much. Thank you to Chantel for sending it. My apologies for having it kicked back to you in the mail, and I'll get you the right address immediately. So thank you. And let's GTFO. Let's get out of here. Well, as we finish, it goes a little bit like this. We are doing our thing again. Like I said, it's look, as Robert out there in the chat says, hey, look, Mike, you don't need a TV studio. You got one right there. This is what I'm saying. The technology has changed. We don't need to kiss anybody's ass to be able to talk about the news. We can do it ourselves. We can talk to each other directly. We can have an open phone line. We can do all the things that in the old days you had to have a gatekeeper for, a gatekeeper system. Well, it's no longer necessary until they shut us up. And, well, I don't take kindly to that, because we have the right to be wrong, and that's what this show's about. And there you go. We are done. If you want to hang out with us, we're going to be back 2 hours, 50 minutes approximately from now, 7 p.m. Pacific time, for Troubled Minds Radio, starring, well, you, because you're the secret weapon. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hang out, take a little bit off. I'm going to grab something to eat, and we're going to get right back to this, get right back to the grindstone. Oh, and by the way, next Monday, we've got a schedule coming up, a special schedule. Next Monday, a week from today, we're going to do 3 shows in one day. We'll do the news show, we'll do Troubled Minds Radio, and after that, we're scheduled with the Night Stalker to talk about that Matrix movie that comes out on the 23rd or the 22nd, which is a couple days from now. So there you go. We got more great content coming up. Looking for some folks that can watch it and be ready to go Monday late, if you want to do that. Looking for maybe another couple. We had James and Rohan last time. You guys are definitely welcome. If anybody else wants to be part of that discussion. It's sort of like a zeitgeist discussion regarding the new Matrix movie. So we're going to talk about that on Monday. But as we finish, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for all the enthusiasm. Thanks for your time and your energy. It means the world to me. Happy holidays to everybody, and we'll see you tonight. Have a great one, guys. Michael Strange, out.